When a severe legal threat, like a sudden criminal accusation or a complex economic offense, strikes a business or individual, the immediate reaction is panic. But the actual charge is rarely what destroys an enterprise or a reputation. The true danger lies in the structurally weak way most targets attempt to defend themselves. Fighting a modern legal crisis requires structural integrity from day one. Without a unified defense, your liberty, your assets, and your entire organization remain at risk of a sudden collapse. Most people operate in an inactivated legal universe. In this state, a legal defense is assembled in pieces, using a disconnected chain of professionals. One lawyer handles the initial police report or legal notice. A completely different professional steps in for the bail hearing, and yet another takes over for the trial. Because these stages don't communicate, critical evidence falls through the cracks. The foundational documentation remains weak, and procedural mistakes stack up simply because one hand doesn't know what the other is doing. This list shows exactly what that fragmentation produces. We see escalating legal risks, compounding financial losses, and massive enforcement difficulties that lead directly to prolonged trials and unnecessary custody. You cannot defeat a highly organized, systemic legal threat using a disorganized, reactive defense. Surviving these threats requires a transition in approach. Organizations and individuals must pivot from managing isolated cases to activating a unified defense. This is the purpose of the Zumosun litigation activation ecosystem. It replaces the fragmented, reactive model with a single, highly structured legal engine. By entering the activated legal universe, your defense becomes a coordinated operation. Every contract, compliance system, and legal structure is deliberately activated and aligned toward a single outcome. In an activated ecosystem, your initial response directly informs your evidence gathering, and your evidence gathering reinforces your trial defense. Every stage communicates. This internal logic starts with legal strategy, dictating the creation of precise, airtight documentation. That documentation feeds your active defense, organizing evidence management so nothing is lost. Finally, your defense empowers court representation, securing your ultimate objective, long-term legal protection. This continuous closed-loop system eliminates the blind spots that plague traditional law. It transforms a chaotic litigation process into a structured execution. When an investigation hits, deploying this strategy and documentation immediately allows you to intercept the threat and prevent critical early procedural mistakes. From there, the system moves to liberty protection. By leveraging integrated evidence management right from the start, you secure anticipatory or regular bail more effectively, keeping you or your executives free. For complex corporate environments, the ecosystem shields enterprises from high-stakes matters. These solutions span across criminal and commercial litigation, right down to handling severe financial disputes, like check bounce cases. Finally, as the case proceeds to trial and beyond, that unified strategy empowers every hearing, supporting successful appeals or quashing petitions without losing momentum. By anticipating the entire timeline of a dispute, this ecosystem builds a comprehensive shield. It neutralizes risks before they can breach your defense. Instead of a vulnerable, chaotic scramble, you operate from a position of procedural compliance and fortified legal rights. This leads to the exponential legal universe, or ELUC. At this stage, your legal infrastructure establishes the long-term stability needed to protect a scaling enterprise. Winning a case is about more than a verdict. It is about preserving your reputation, your liberty, and your enterprise through superior structural design. Traditional law firms provide litigation services for isolated cases. Zumosun builds complete legal ecosystems where documentation, strategy, and enforcement work in unison. Stop reacting to criminal threats and isolated disputes. Start building a resilient legal civilization by talking to a Zumosun legal activation expert today. True peace of mind happens when you step out of a fragmented legal system and activate your protection.